everyone, it's Ree. I know you can see Destiny and Mel's picture up there, and the reason I wanted to speak about these two is I've watched the show from the beginning, but I just became a commentator a few months ago, and I wanted to just really sit back and see what was going to go on with the reunion, and I just really wanted to see before I do a lot of commentary on Destiny. And Destiny, I see you. I see you for who you are, who you've been, and where you're going. Now, where you're going is still up in the air. You can change that. Everybody can change. Everybody can evolve. I mean, we're all evolving all the time. We never stay, well, I can't say we. Some people do stay in the same position. But I just want you to know that you just low down and dirty. Low down and dirty. Because I feel 100% that you were the ops for Martell. And this is all alleged, my opinion. But I feel like you were the ops. You knew from the moment you met Mel that he was dealing with AC. You probably knew about the other chicks because I feel allegedly you could have been one of them. My biggest problem with you is that you, I'm air quoting, that you knew Martell in high school. Okay. Let's say, hypothetically, which I feel, in my opinion, that you slept with him or had some type of twist or tryst with him. If you would have came through that door and said, had a woman-to-woman talk, look, Mel, I didn't know you then. You guys weren't together, but I don't want to come through this door pretending like Martell and I have never done anything. It was a long time ago. I don't know how Mel would have accepted it, but I think Mel, being the classy person she is and was back then and is now, she would have said, okay, I appreciate you telling me that, but Mel would have kept her eye on you. She would have kept her eye on you. But see, you came through the door with your representative and fugaziness. And so when I began to look at it, I said to myself, hold up, swole up. Hold up, swole up. Destiny must be think. She must be think that we can't see because we don't have them big behind eyes like her. Destiny, let me tell you something. My grandmother always told me, you can be pretty on the outside, but you can be rotten on the inside. And if you're rotten on the inside, it's going to diminish how you look on the outside. Because if you got a stank and nasty attitude, it's going to diminish how you look because you're going to look ugly. And you guys will always hear me go back to my grandparents. I go back to my granddaddy, God rest his soul. He always say your name and your word and your character, all that mixed in together. But your character, your word, and your name is all you have. And guess what, Destiny? All yours, allegedly, is crap right now. Your name ain't worth nothing. You lie to us and don't think that somebody is going to pull it up. You're an agent. But then you want to come brag and somebody, and one of the content of, I don't know, the content creator, somebody had posted that they had the proof and showed the proof. What the date when you did the same day that you bragging that you had paid your fees and all this stuff, it was the same day, but you had blacked it out. You didn't want us to see it. Girl, everything is public record. That's why I knew when I started doing this commentating stuff, this is just food for thought for me. I do a lot of different things. You may see me one day just talk about food. This I have gotten to a point in my life, I don't care what somebody says about me as long as I'm living in my truth. When you're living in your truth, nobody can tell your truth better than you. And for you, allegedly, you're not living in your truth. We don't know really a lot about you, and we haven't really been focusing on you that much, But the one thing I do know, you, Tiffany, and Stormy, you guys all allegedly have the traits of you don't have that motherly instinct, and it's all about like Tiffany's a little bit different. Hers is in a different way, allegedly. um do I think it was right how she maneuvered her way into wanting a baby? Because it was almost like an ultimatum, really, allegedly. Because what if Lou would have said no? So it was pretty much like, this is what I want, you know. And I think she just threw the 6 months in to sweeten, to make it seem nice. But it was pretty much her way or the highway. But that's my opinion, allegedly. Um, and with Stormy, the mother situation and all this stuff, and it's just a lot of times I think people, and I've had to learn this myself, when you're dealing with people and they allegedly have brokenness in them, not to say Mel hasn't went through things, Mel have, but the one thing Mel has is a praying mama. And if anybody has ever heard that song that Shirley Caesar sang about a praying mama, that's a true thing, baby. Not only just a praying mama, a praying wife, a praying husband. And so I don't know, allegedly, if that could be a little bit of a jealousy thing. Not even a jealousy thing. I wouldn't say jealousy. It could be an envious thing. Because, all people would love to have that mother and that father, but you may get one, not the other. You may get both, and sometimes you can have both, and that doesn't mean it's a great thing. But Destiny, you have really done the ultimate betrayal. You've been in this woman's house. You've been around her children. You've kept her children. You've been around her man. You are just low down and dirty. And until you do right, you can't expect to have a good relationship with a man or a friendship with a woman if you are always trying to hide who you are, because it's going to come out eventually in some form. Allegedly, that's just like with you with Moses. That man probably is not stupid. He know who he dealing with. And I don't blame him. And I would like to see him on the show, because who was somebody that said, I think somebody, I cannot remember, I think on the reunion they asked them, when Carlos asked you about, why you got a pillow sitting beside you, but I could have sworn I heard you say that you care for him and you love him, baby. Girl, let me tell you something. The way you maneuver and talking about you have big D energy, you don't even know what big D energy is. You are working at your capacity right now, allegedly. You are the female definition of Martell. That's why y'all get along so well. I ain't going to say poor Mel. Scratch that. Mel wasn't no poor Mel, because God was covering Mel even when she didn't know what was going on. She was packed around. And when I said last week that Melody should possibly think about leaving the show, I wasn't talking about her. She don't need the show. And it wasn't y'all pushing her from the show. I look at all these shows. Mariah started Married to Medicine. They pushed her out. Nene, Nene did a lot to herself. Love you, Nene, but you did. But what I will give Nene and Mariah and Mel, but that Nene and that Mariah, baby, they got some lines for you, and they give good TV. They give good TV. Married to Medicine to me ain't really been the same since then, and you know, we ain't gonna go there. But anywho, they give good TV. Mel give great TV as well. And for me, it's just she don't need the show. She's staying on the show, but y'all need her because it's the Melody Show. It's her show. I mean, it's not just her show because she took it to Carlos. It's her show literally because every one of you, with the exception of maybe Kimmy, everything, Mel this, Mel that, Mel this the way we deal, this the way we deal, this the way we deal, Melody. Everybody. Hell, AC ain't even on there and she keep her in her mouth and trying to mimic her. Baby, let me tell you something. It don't matter. Destiny, you did, and I'm not even going there. I got a little segment on that too. But let me tell you something. When you think that you were hurting Melody, you were only hurting yourself. Because when you went down that hole, there was no way to come out of it. Because the only way you could come out that hole and set things right with Melody, you were going to have to allegedly debunk and divulge your conspiracy with Martell. It's a lot going to come out. When this show ends, just like the whole time this show been going on, we've gotten more off the gram and the internet than we have gotten on the show. We have gotten more from, we got more from the gram than we got from the reunion. I'm just like, boy, I'm telling y'all should begin to check off the gram. But it's not a whole lot to say with you and Melody. Melody doing her thing. I can't really say allegedly if you and Melody would have been cool, you would have, you got to write your own ticket. You have to do your own thing. I mean, in ballet they have what they call understudies. You could have probably been her understudy, but I don't know. I digress on that one. So for me, the only thing I can say to you, and I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for me. I know Melody has forgiveness in her heart. You guys will never be friends, allegedly. But, hey, she even told you that she was willing to be cordial. That's all she could do. That's it. Be cordial. She doesn't give you or any of you guys that much space in her head. She got too much popping, too much bopping. Okay? She doing too much popping and too much bopping going on. That's right. So, Destiny, yeah, good luck with everything. I don't know what to tell you from this point, but you dig, when you digging a hole for one woman, you anyway, girl, but to the next segment. And this is where I wanted you guys to look at something. These are some photos from Destiny's wedding. And if you look at the top two, I guess he's supposed to be a serious pose, and the bottom two is the happy pose. But look at those smiles at the bottom. And look at her smile with Martell. Now, this is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. She had some other ones that just looked like she was in pain, allegedly. I don't know what it is with her and Martell, allegedly, but Even when they were on camera, I never seen her smile like this with LeBaric. But it's okay, LeBaric, baby. Guess what? I got somebody. But honey, let me tell you something. If you can't keep a man like LeBaric, unless LeBaric put his hands on you or was allegedly verbally abusive, and I'm gonna be honest with you, for a woman to say she has big D energy, there's no telling how you was allegedly talking to that man in there. Because when a woman feels like she has that energy, that means she will go toe to toe, word for word with a man. And let me tell you something. For me, allegedly, for me, I am an alpha female, but for the right man, I know how to be passive. Because what woman really wants to be in a man's role? What woman really wants to? Yes, we're bosses, but what woman really wants to protect the house and do all those things? If we have a man, most women, if we have a man, and that man is the three P's, he professes his love, he's a protector and a provider. We as alpha females, we know how to play our role as the submissive wife. We're not just submissive. We're submissive when we need to be, and we're a boss when we need to be. We can wear many hats. So I will put money on it that allegedly she was in that house talking to that man crazy. And this man, LeBaric, looks like a real man. He didn't need her to take care of him. He was already doing his thing before he met her. I'm not going to say she couldn't have got a house, but without him, but just, allegedly, I don't think so. But, and my whole thing is, it's like, I'm paraphrasing what I heard Michelle Obama say one time. She was sitting and she had some other black women she was talking to. And she said, there is no marriage, and I'm paraphrasing, there is no marriage that is perfect. We've had our ups and downs, but I would rather have 10 bad and 30 good. Because if you look at that person and you respect that person, I'm paraphrasing now, you respect that person and you like that person, nobody's perfect. So at the end of the day, I don't know what you did. But eventually, the truth, let me tell you something. It don't matter what nobody say. The truth has its way of coming out. What's done in the dark will come out in the light. Or as some old folks say, what goes in the wash comes out. What goes in the wash comes out in the dryer. However it is, all these things. But yeah, Destiny, you had to play your part. And I know you say you played your part, but for look, just so I know, if you could do a woman like that, ain't no telling what you would do to a man, and you thought he was gonna sit there and take it. No. Allegedly. No. He was not. Everybody is due respect, and I wasn't in that house. The one thing I was always raised, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors in somebody's relationship. It don't matter. It matter if you boyfriend and girlfriend are married. It matter. I can only speculate, and these are my opinions. But all I'm saying is, he had to see something in you to marry you. He had to. And my other thing is, you talking about his mama, this is mama. You had to know how this man's mother was. You had to know how his mother was when you was coming back and forth and dating him. But I'm going to tell you what I bet you did. And we all try to put our big foot, I bet not a big foot, but maybe your big foot, but your best foot forward. Them times you probably met them, you're smiling, putting your, and all that stuff. But when you thought you had him allegedly, then you wanted to start, your mama this, your mama. Let me tell you something. We all come across, now there's some good mamas out there, but I haven't, be quiet, Ree. Okay. We've all had some mother-in-laws, or you've dated some guy that may be a mama's boy, or their mother may love him. But see, you're finna find out yourself because you've been blessed with a son. So now you're finna find out how it feels if God spares you that long. We don't never know when we gonna be here. But if God spares you long enough to see your son grow up, you going to go through, hopefully not similar, but you going to be the mother on the other end. And your son going to have somebody. And if he keep going the way that he going, he has seemed like he look just like his dad. He's a cutie pie. All the kids. Your son, he's cute. Male kid's cute. Little AC, Martell, fifth child is cute. And the Scott 2.0, all of them, all the kids can't do no wrong. They cute as pie. But the kids are cute as pie. Even, Merrick, he is just so much energy. But all I'm going to say to you, you got to remember that's that man's mother. And she loves him, and she only wanted the best for him. Our children, just like we didn't make good decisions, and our parents tried to talk to us. But at the same time, you should have had grace. Regardless if they didn't like you, wouldn't have been the first or last person that the relatives didn't care for the person. But see, the thing about it is, you thought your itch didn't stink. You thought your itch didn't stink. So you couldn't. Let me tell you something. He don't look like allegedly the type of man that's going to drop his family for you. But he still loved you regardless of what they said. Because allegedly from what the internet streets talking, they didn't want him to marry you. And he did. And that spoke volumes. All you had to do is get in there and have some act right. I bet you was a lot of women now got some act right. And they don't have no problem with being there, having some act right with him and being a stepmama. Shut up, Bree. Okay, I'm sorry. That was petty. That was very petty. So petty of me. But let me tell you, what you put out there is what you get back. And for me, I'm sometimes misunderstood because I'm very direct. But don't take my directness as me being mad. That's not, it's a lot of direct people. Even when I'm doing business, and because I've been in the business world for so long, you have to get to the point. You can't just go back and forth. But, on YouTube, I'm trying to curb my tongue. I'm trying not to be so direct, because some people feel I'm upset. I'm never upset. I never started this channel to be upset. Because this is supposed to be an outlet for me. So believe you me, this is not for me to be upset. I love to talk and I love to get feedback. So all I can say to you, Destiny, is when you told Mel, I know you miss me, baby, the thrill is gone. The thrill is gone from here. Yes, ma'am. Melly don't miss you. Melly don't even think about you, girl. That's the sad part. She don't think about none of you guys. She don't even think about Martell. But I digress. Okay. So then you tried your hands at singing, which I know you have proof to show that allegedly you were trying to sing back then. Probably should have just left that alone. But I would never tell anyone not to go after their dreams. You had so many opportunities even then to just be a woman about it. And when you and Melody performed at the with Monica, when Monica had invited you guys, but you didn't. But at this point, for me, you're gonna live your life. You're gonna do the things that you want to do. But all I know is that life has a way of teaching you when you don't think that you don't need to be taught anything, that you know everything. So just keep living and see life will teach you, and the things that you're doing, it's going to come back, and you're going to be like, oh wow, I shouldn't have done that. Because when you make somebody else suffer, you're going to have to suffer along with them as well. Just remember that, Destiny. And let's talk about your allegedly new love, or beau, or Moses, or whatever you want to call him. Moses, you're handsome. I'm looking at your eyes, and your eyes are telling a lot. Moses. I would be shocked, allegedly, if you didn't have a real girlfriend or somebody else that you're kicking it with, because this is what's called long distance relationship. And we all know that Destiny says she has big D energy. So I don't know how well that's going to work out. But Moses, why don't you come on the show? Hey. She said you had to handle some alleged business. That's why you couldn't come on the reunion. But I don't have much to say. And allegedly, she said that she's known you for a long, long time. And you guys see each other. Allegedly, I'm paraphrasing, that you guys see, you would see each other off and on. So, inquiring minds want to know, Mr. Moses, was that off and on in between when she was dating LeBaric long distance? Or before? I mean, when they got married? Because I don't know how true it is. But the internet streets allegedly, this is a big allegedly, that there was a DNA test possibly taken. It's a lot. Girl, Destiny, let me tell you something, honey. With everything that you are not saying, you could go ahead and Carlos would have to write you a big check, because you could put all your business out and carry the show. But hey, who are we? We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. Not nothing. Nothing. We don't know nothing. But we're going to see how well that works for you. We're going to see how well you think you can keep, because see, I see you. You're on that stage telling Carlos allegedly what you think or thought he wanted to hear. And based on what I'm seeing, Carlos, well, Carlos could be, I don't know what Carlos, one minute he say something and then he do the next. But he seemed like he was fed up. Like he say, if you don't want to tell your business, get off the show. But I'm not talking about Pacific people. Allegedly, that's what he said. But anywho. But Destiny, there's nothing else I could say to you that nobody else has said. But the only thing I could say to you, young lady, is that your name, your character, and the way you moving in these streets are just straight, downright stank. Stank. But guess what? I'm going to chalk it up to you working at your capacity. Because most people are working. We want better for them, and we want them to do things. And I'm quite sure Mel see the potential, because Mel always said, allegedly, that if she sees somebody that wants to do something and she can help them, she would. And that's just like Kiki. Kiki want to get on. So, hey, Kiki want to get on, she can get on. But, you know what you was doing. And talking about the ops, that's why you were so offended by you and Tisha about the ops. And that's another thing, I'm going to say this at the end. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to fall, because the way you and Tisha and the way you and Stormy became friends. Those are not friendships. You guys are bonding together against one person. That's what that is. And the quicker you get together, the quicker you gonna fall. And another two cents. Tisha is a very jealous person, so you better make sure you dividing your time and you giving her enough time, baby. Allegedly, because she'll start wanting to know why why you not calling or coming by and all of that stuff. But see, based on the way I seen Kimmy act, Kimmy already done peeped you because she done been seeing you around. But Kimmy already done peeped you. That part. Oh, guys, I forgot about this part, which you probably already done heard, but this is the posting of LeBaric stating he's selling his home. And there will be an open house Sunday on the 29th at 1 through 1 to 3 dealing with Chris Fletcher. But that got me to thinking, and I'm like, he said, I will be selling. And I was like, okay, because Destiny allegedly said that she was going to be selling her house. So me being Ree, I went and I have the copy of the deed. And I also looked up because I wanted to make sure the taxes were paid. But we know LeBaric is, always going to be responsible, allegedly. So everything was paid. Her name is still on as of now. Now, based on what I've known from some previous other situations, there's a number of different things that could happen in a divorce. So these are just my alleged thoughts. You guys put your comments and thoughts down because you probably didn't heard or been through different situations. But I know there was a situation where I knew someone and the person already had the house, but when they married the person, they had to refinance the house because it was going to go into foreclosure. So anywho, that's how that person ended up getting their name on. But then they got a divorce. He either in the divorce had to pay half, give that person half, or sell the property. Either he had to pay out of his pocket or sell the house, and then, that other person would get their half. Didn't happen that way because some other things happened, unfortunately. But in their situation, I'm thinking either allegedly, when he said that because we all said that was nice, but I think, and you got to remember, I don't know at the time if she had custody back yet, because, at that time he had got the custody based on what she was saying, allegedly. But he paid a year of the mortgage and he paid the taxes. So I'm thinking hypothetically and allegedly, either she's not going to get any money out, so there was no need to do a quick deed, or B, she could get half, but he would deduct what he paid for that year. Because if there was going to be a quick deed and it was just going to be in his name, it would have showed up by now because they've been divorced long enough. And there was I checked the quick deed and both of their names are still on as of the end of the year. And, and I'm going to double check and I'll give you guys a follow up. But I actually have the deed and all that good stuff. It's public record. You can go and do it too. I mean, yeah, I'm a little nosy, but hey, I do it for you guys. Yeah, that part. So I just wanted to make sure y'all understand. I was just being nosy for you guys. It's not always what I do. But, so you just throw your comments out on what you think happened in the process. We don't know. Anything could have been decided. So maybe that's the reason he's using that verbiage hypothetically, because he know that the house really isn't his name based on what was done in the divorce. And that's why he probably paid the year for her to stay there and she wouldn't get any proceeds from the sale. So that didn't make no sense to do a quick deed because it was already signed. That's one thing. But anywho, I'm going to stop rambling. Guys, let's do a little housekeeping. If you didn't hit that like button and subscribe and share and hit that notification bell on the way in, if you can please do it on the way out. This is Dear Ree saying she love you guys. Peace and soul. Mwah.